Okay, so for this assignment I chose to do part A, which is show that A union B equal B if and only if A is a subset of B. Because this is an if and only statement or a biconditional statement, so we need to show the two direction, which is so that if A union B equals B, then A is a subset of B. And the other direction, we need to show that if A is a subset of B, then A union B equals B. So I'm gonna need to do the first direction, which is show that A union B equal B if and only A is a subset of B. So we suppose that A and B are two sets that we assume that A union B is equal to B. We want to prove that this is true, that A is a subset of B. So we begin by having an element of A. If little a is an element of the set A, then by the definition of set union, A must also be an element of the set A union B. Since A is an element of A union B and A union B is equal to the set B, we know that little a must also be an element of B. Therefore, we have our desired conclusion that proves that our first direction, that the set A is a subset of B, because all elements of A are also elements of B. So that's where shall we done with our first direction. We also need to do our second direction, which is to show that A is a subset of B if and only if A union B equals B. Let A and B be two sets. Assume that assume that our set A is a subset of B, and we want to show that A union B equals B. So to show this, we need to show that A union B is a subset of B. We want to show that A unions B is equal to B. First, let's prove that A union B is a subset of B. So if we take some element, X element from A union B, we know by definition of set union that X is also an element of A, or X is an element of B. If X is an element of B, then it is great. If X is an element of A, then we can also conclude that X is an element of B, because A is a subset of B. Thus, either way, X is an element of B. So, this shows that any element of A union B must also be in the set B. Therefore, A union B is a subset of B. Then to finish this direction of the proof, we just need to show that B is a subset of A union B. So if we take some element X from the set B, then simply by the definition of set union, X must also be an element of A union B. Then B, because A union B contains all the elements that are in A as well as the elements that are in B. Therefore, B is a subset of A union B. Since A union B is a subset of B as well. Therefore, A union B is equal to B. So this proves that if A is a subset of B, then A union B is equal to B. And that's the proof.